Let's talk about exercising and improving our design skills today. So, you've heard that to become better at the skill, you need to practice. But it's not important to just do the thing. For example, with design, it's not important to just design without any thought behind it, maybe. It is much more important and beneficial to have targeted practice sessions at a skill that you want to improve. And here, by skill, I mean a certain part of design that you want to become better at. Let's say you want to become better at typography, or you want to have better logo design skills or better layout skills. So I haven't really gone to design or art school, so I don't really know what they teach there or how students advance and exercise their skills there. But I found certain things that work for me. I found certain exercises that make me understand typography and hierarchy a little bit better, so that I can later make maybe some better designs. Obviously, this is the point in the end, right? And so I wanted to share some of the things that I exercise and work on to, try to better my skills, and I hope it helps some of you. And I will start with the most obvious things, and it's like copy others' work. And no, I am not talking about stealing others' work and claiming it as your own, but more like copy other designs that are good designs. I struggled a lot with this idea when I was first starting out, and I thought, copying others is a bad thing because, yes, claiming it as your own is a bad thing, but copying other artworks or other types of art, I don't know, architecture, for example, copying other things like that is a way for you to maybe broaden your perspective instead of actually like claiming it as your own and do like plagiarism. This concept comes from all of the teachings when you advance in skills, that first you need to learn the basics. We learned the basics in the previous video, the graphic design basics. Second, it is to practice and become good at these skills. Once you know these things, then you can advance to a next level where you break the rules, so to say. So we're still maybe at the stage where we need to practice, and basically we need to do the design principle. We need to implement the design principles as easily as possible. We shouldn't have a problem with that, so that then maybe in the future we will start breaking the rules and do our own layouts, typography, hierarchy, and all of this. So this is why the first thing I think you should do, or the first thing I think you should practice, is copy other designs that you like. Create, like, I don't know, a Pinterest board with, if you want to practice like logo designs, create a Pinterest board with logo designs that you like. But also they have to be like good logo designs, right? It cannot be just old-timey, bad kerning typography, type of logos. Those will not be beneficial to you because you might learn bad practices. They need to be good logo designs. Pin them in a Pinterest board or whatever you feel most comfortable using, and recreate these designs in Illustrator. Think about what these logos have done right. Think about what maybe you could, put a twist on and make it a little bit your own. Again, like, don't claim it as your own, but like be, creative with it as well. Don't just copy blindly. Think maybe why this certain type of typeface has been chosen for this certain mark that they also have. How are they positioned with each other? Is it horizontal, vertical, and why are they in such sizes as they are? What are their relative sizes, and why does that work? Try to maybe move one to be a little bit bigger, or maybe the other a little bit bigger, move them a little bit apart, see how it looks, And this is when you will realize, yes, this good logo design is done in this particular way because the other variations do not work well, they don't look good, right? If you want to design better posters, poster design can teach you a lot about hierarchy and compositions. So good poster designs, copying them is a very good exercise in teaching yourself why certain things have been done the way they have and why do they work. Again, I suggest create a Pinterest board or Behance mood board or whatever with poster designs that you like or that you feel that you can reverse engineer so that you can recreate it in like Illustrator, Photoshop and stuff like this. To make you realize better like what works good, how are these things made, why are these words placed in a certain way, why are these images placed in a certain way, why are these images manipulated in the way they have been. If they have, for example, if photographs have been manipulated in a certain way, why does this work with this typography and so on. Like there's so much to learn from others' work because they have put so much thought into it. And so you will just take in that information by, recreating their work. Now, for web design and UI and app designs and stuff like this. UI design has a lot of rules nowadays. Like sometimes you cannot really go wrong with it, but I still suggest, especially in the beginning, if you don't know what good UI design means, to recreate some, like dribble shots of designed apps, or take a real app or real web design and try to recreate them in Figma. Think about why they have chosen these photographs, why they have chosen maybe illustrations, how big the font is in particular like sections, what is the typography hierarchy, and what is a good layout, overall layout, and also a good layout in each section of the website or the app. All right, we've copied enough work. Let's do some challenges. There are some challenges online that I found that are really interesting to me, and so I wanted to show you what I have in mind. For typography, I took this challenge from the Future Academy channel, where Chris Do is giving critique on some of the, participants in the academy. But what is interesting is that he also gives interesting perspective on the layout, some negative space, and basically how to make your layouts better. And those challenges, please watch the playlist. Even if you watch it at 2x speed, just see what happens in there, what kind of critique Chris Do gives, what works and doesn't work. But it's the challenge is very beneficial, and it has like building up a sort of gradation to how difficult or maybe easy, I don't know, the exercises get. And the first round is do a layout with font of only one size and one weight. And you can copy the text from the videos if you want, or maybe come up with your own. But with these first rounds, where you don't really have that much contrast in your typography, it is very beneficial for you to find out how to make contrast and hierarchy with the same weight and size font. Also, listen to what Chris has to say. Why does that work or doesn't work? Try it out yourself, some of the tips maybe that he gives, and see what works for you. And if I find, for example, the feedback in some of these videos where some of the typography is slanted by an angle, to first make it normally, no slant, and then slanted. And I think this has changed my perspective of how these layouts happen a lot. So yeah, I'm sure you will be able to take out some information from these videos, but also challenge yourself to make a lot of typography layouts when you think about contrast, hierarchy, you know, things like this. For layout and composition, I took again some videos from the Future channel and Chris Doe giving some feedback, and I think these are even more interesting because it's concrete feedback on layouts that you see currently on your screen. For example, this first video where Chris gives feedback on the layouts, I advise you to maybe copy the same layouts that are in the video, hear the feedback and critique that Chris gives, and try to implement it on your copy of the design that you've created. This way you can see directly like what he means maybe with all of this. Why is that better? People with more years of experience probably know better than I do. So the same with these two videos on poster design, but it's still very layout heavy as well. So one evening I actually sat down and copied all of these layouts in Illustrator, and then while watching the videos obviously, and you know, like recreating it. Why is this put here? Why is that put there? Like, why is it this particular font weight? Why is it this font size? And I think this opens my mind to a lot more possibilities in poster design and obviously typography as well. And also, if we can manipulate typography in this certain way, our layouts and designs will become much better. Another challenge for layout design is copy grids that you see online. I bought this book for new page design because I know I suck at layout, and so the layouts that they have in here are for books, but also like flyers, posters, all of these things. And they have the grids also here at the bottom for each of the examples that they give. And so if I decide that some of these grids I could use for some of my designs, I decide to try them out. Or even if it's not for a design of my own, like copying the grid to see how it works and how it's built gives you perspective on how to build grids in the future. So even if you recreate one grid now, and what if this doesn't work for your design? You tweak it a little bit until maybe they do work for your design. Learn how they're constructed, and then in the future you'll be able to construct such grids yourself from scratch, and you won't have to copy anyone else's. All right, next thing is, I think trying out different online tutorials could help you. And here I want to caution you to not fall into this this thing people call tutorial hell, which means that you only watch tutorials without actually creating anything yourself. And so to me, it was beneficial to watch different tutorials on either poster designs, logo designs, and like, I don't know, different photo manipulations and stuff. And so for the poster designs, I learn different ways that people use maybe grids or the rulers in Illustrator. For the logo designs, how to create a grid, and then from this grid, how to make like a nice shape with the shape builder tool. Like the amount of magic I've seen in these tutorials is completely crazy. And also tutorials for Photoshop and Illustrator can help me find new techniques to use maybe in a future design. So yeah, try out tutorials, but yeah, try also to like not be tempted to constantly go to tutorials. Last thing, we've exercised so much, we've improved our skills, and we have so much more knowledge than before. I think it's time we redesign something. Once you have done some work on exercises, you've gained so much more experience, it could be a good new exercise to redesign either some of your older things, maybe from the beginning, or some other designs that you find are not really that good, or that you see that are plainly like bad. But I guess this is a low-hanging fruit, so try to redesign some things that you think might be better with your reimagining. Last year I redesigned a poster that I made my first month of designing, and I think in 1 year I had gained a lot more experience with obviously typography and layout, but also on how to handle the design problem. So seeing how you redesign your old stuff and how easy maybe it is to you, you will see how much you've grown in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, and so on. Right, I hope you liked this hopefully short video that I made for exercises, and please try them out, see what works for you, and let me know how it went. Maybe I can also learn something. Or yeah, give me suggestions in the comments below what exercise might work for you, or might have worked for you, and maybe I can learn something new as well. Please like the video and subscribe if you liked it, and if you want to see more videos like this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye!